Good evening and welcome to the Female VC Lab podcast. I have a special guest here, Melanie Mack. So, Mel, why don't you give me your name, your title, and the name of your foundation?
Good evening. My name is Melanie Mack. I am the Vice Board Chair and Secretary, also a founding executive board member for the Black Cooperative Investment Fund.
All right. So, Melanie, what inspires you to start the Black Cooperative Investment Fund, otherwise known as BCIF?
Yes, we officially launched in 2017, January of 2017. Prior to that, my husband and I were having conversations, just sitting in our living room, talking about the Black community and some of the challenges that we've had in terms of accessing capital. And for me as an entrepreneur with my first business, my capital raise was 1.5 million with a VC. And it was, I had to go through 30 different VCs. And I know people have contacted more, but that was so taxing on me. And I only got 1.5. People think that's a lot of money. So we were thinking about the lack of access, the lack of cash flow, and just basically kicking around the idea. Cooperative economics it's not a novel concept. It's been around, forever.
Mhm.
And we started thinking about ways that we could help our community. And we thought, and he had been thinking about this for some time, but we really sat down and began to formulate this idea of galvanizing our community and pooling our dollars to invest in small businesses, Black-owned small businesses, to build assets and to help the Black community invest in more real estate. And those were the nascent stages of it. That was the beginning, the seed of the idea.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about how BCIF works. If I'm a company or someone that would seek you out, how do I find you and how does BCIF work?
So if you are a small business owner, you can find us on our website. Usually it's word of mouth. It has been word of mouth, although we are ramping up to build a stronger marketing strategy. But you can find us by going to the website, which is bcifund.org. And basically it's an online application process, really simple. We're a non-traditional lender. We are able to disperse loans that range between 5,000 to 20,000 maximum.
Mhm.
And our goal has always been to disperse anywhere from 24 to 36 microloans per year. So we haven't reached that goal yet. We're building the fund to $500,000. So once we reach that point, we know that we can turn that around into 1.2 million in assets for the Black community within Southern California.
That's great. So, what are you currently learning or listening to or reading these days right now?
So I'm currently listening to Bethany Frankel, her podcast.
Hmm.
Very interesting the way she built Skinny Girl. And she's
Yes.
just no holds barred. It's light but informative. So I've been listening to that podcast. I'm currently reading Cast by Isabel Wilkerson,
Mm-hmm.
which is, for me, I love material like that, but just the climate that we're living in, it's a little heavy for me, so I have to take breaks from it. And I'm a fast reader, but the content is heavy. And I just finished the book His Only Wife, which is by Peace Meady. She's a Ghanaian writer. This was her first novel
Oh,
and
wow.
an excellent read. So that was fun.
Wonderful. So, Melanie, here's your bonus question. In 2 years, when we're talking, and we'll be talking more than that because I'll put the disclaimer about I'm on the BCIF board, so I'm a BCI board member.
That's
So we're going to talk more before that. But in 2 years, when we're back on the podcast talking, how do you see BCIF's contribution into either the venture ecosystem or the funding ecosystem?
in terms of within 2 years, and this may be lofty, but working aggressively, we want to become the go-to fund for small business owners, for Black small business owners. This pandemic has been challenging for many. I read something where in February of 2020, there were 1.1 million Black-owned businesses in California. As of April of 2020, there were only 640,000.
Oh my gosh.
So
wow.
To become the go-to and to be top of mind and to always have a seat at that table whenever funding is discussed as it pertains to African Americans living in Southern California, that would be wonderful. And I think that's something that we're working towards. We have to continue to get the word out and make sure that people know that we're here and we're here to support them, and they need to know that they can find us.
Absolutely. Mel, I'm actually going to ask you one more bonus question.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about those support outside of the lending? What kind of other support services or systems you may have in place at the BCIF?
Sure. We are in partnership with PCR, which is Pacific Coast Regional. And for us, they expand our bandwidth, essentially our back room. They're able to provide wraparound services to individuals that apply for microloans. Oftentimes, what we're seeing across the board really is that many small business owners are a band of two sometimes, and they may not have they may not have their financial house in order. And so PCR for us serves as that arm to assist in getting those pieces together and making their foundation strong to make them very attractive on paper moving forward.
That's great.
We have an amazing board, and yes, you are a board member. We have 11 people on our board, and they are from all different business sectors, and I think we have 11 members, and I'm just really pleased with their contribution. It's really a composite of work, wisdom, and wealth.
That's important. The board level is important. It's important for us to contribute to boards. It's important for us to be moving forward with boards that you're interested in participating in and you care about, because then that gives us experience. And it also, like you said, from the wisdom side, if you can share back some of what you've learned and what.
Absolutely.
So that's always good. Melanie, how do people get into contact with you?
So I can be reached very easily at mmac@BCIFund. That's my email, mmac@bcifund.org. And you can also send an email through the website, which is info@bcifund.org. And just say that you're looking for Melanie Mack, you'd like to speak with Melanie Mack, and it will be routed to me.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Melanie Mack from BCIF, the Black Cooperative Investment Fund, for being our guest on the Female VC Lab podcast.
Thank you for having me.